Hello friends, I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? Whoa. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? Hope it's fantastic. Things are still chaos here in the shed until I fix the ceiling. Hopefully that'll happen this weekend. So I'll put all this stuff back and we'll be back to our normal setup. But I wanted to talk today about another one of my oddities. A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I did a video about kind of a confession about the reason I don't wear sweatpants and sweat jacket, like hooded sweatshirts, that sort of stuff. And it was a bit of an embarrassing thing to admit. But when I did that video, part of that led to we want to see your t-shirts, and so I did a video talking about my t-shirts. And in both of those videos, I mentioned the fact that I have this other oddity, and that oddity, or maybe it isn't so odd, is that I basically do not wear branded clothing. And what I mean by that is not that I don't wear Ralph Lauren or, whatever. What I mean by that is I don't wear advertising on my person. It's just something that, since I was a child, I never quite understood it. Now, I grew up in West Virginia. I'm still here. West Virginia still has a very strong southern redneck root, right? And so it's not uncommon to see people here wearing camouflage in public like it's a normal thing to do. And as a teenager, it was very common to see people wearing beer and tobacco related clothing. It was a common, Bud Light hats and cigarette t-shirts, Camels and stuff like that. It was super, super common. And I've always had this personal, apprehension against purchasing branded materials like that. I'm not going to wear a free promotion for a brand that does nothing for me, right? That doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form. Why would I go purchase with my money a hat that says Bud Light on it? Why in the world would I do that? And so I don't. I basically don't wear branded clothing. There are exceptions. There are a few exceptions. Sometimes sports teams. I do own some Pittsburgh Penguins stuff. I own a few soccer jerseys, and those have advertisements on them. That's kind of out of my control, but I do like to show support for teams that I enjoy. There are some local brands. I don't know if you've seen my Country Club Bakery t-shirt. It's a local bakery here that produces pepperoni rolls, which is kind of a regional food in my area. So I will wear that. But for the most part, I don't wear branded things. Or in bands, I'm sorry. I do have quite a few Flogging Molly shirts, Pearl Jam. Anything else? That might be the two shirt bands that I own. I don't know exactly. Regardless, it's just something that I won't purchase advertising to put on my person. I just never do it. Not even stickers or patches or anything like that. So when I go shopping for something, it can be very difficult to find unbranded things. For instance, I've been wanting a new hat recently, and I shopped around to try to find a new hat that fit my face, because I have a very weird, I normally don't wear hats with pre-bent brims because it pulls the hat in and makes my face look fatter. Just one of those things I don't like. But finding an unbranded hat that didn't have some sports team on it that I didn't care about or whatever was difficult. This is actually my high school, Fairmont Senior High School. I discovered that a local hat maker or local hat shop makes these and sells them, and I said, yes, that's perfect, because it's a brand, but nobody knows what it is. It doesn't matter. And then, obviously yesterday I mentioned that Super Clean sent me some stuff, and they sent me a purple hat and a t-shirt. I will wear these because I didn't spend money on them. That's kind of the point. I will advertise for the company because they sent me product, because they entrusted me to represent their brand, or to at least give not necessarily represent, but give my opinion on their products. So I will wear their hat. Will I wear it out in public? Probably not. This will probably turn into a shop hat. But who knows? I mean, anything's possible, I guess. But I guess the point is, for most of my life, I have picked and chose my clothing based on, you know, I didn't want to show support for a company that should be paying me, right? I'm not going to wear a tool brand on my shirt, you know, DeWalt clothing, because DeWalt's not paying me to wear that shirt. So why would I show my support? Like, they don't need that from me. Again, it's a personal quirk. I know, it's odd. It's a weird behavior, but I've rebranded my tools. I mean, I think I mentioned this in that video. My tools, you probably know what brand this tool is just based on the color and based on the font of the logo I've placed on here. But this is not, Myopic is not a tool manufacturer. That's a brand I made up to put on my tools because I don't want to promote them. All of my tools have been rebranded. Even my glue bottles. Well, actually that's not true. The glue bottles I've been using recently are Sriracha bottles. I guess that's not entirely true. But I've made an effort to remove branding from most things in my life because I don't want to advertise. And I guess part of that is my ego is big enough to think that if I wear it, somebody's going to think that I support that company. And that's also completely ridiculous. Nobody cares. But I stick to it. So that's what I have for you today. Another embarrassing admittal. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is faux pas. It is a noun meaning a serious breach of social protocol or etiquette. Looking a Japanese business customer directly in the eye during conversation is considered an egregious faux pas not easily forgiven. Faux pas, F-A-U-X-P-A-S. So yesterday we learned that faux means fake or whatever. What is pas and how do those two words end up meaning a breach of etiquette? Like fake something? Or are they different roots?